Alright, rise and shine YouTube. My name is Tsele, and for the last few months I've been struggling a lot to find games to cover on the channel. That said though, few days ago the YouTube algo blessed my recommendation section with an 11-minute leaked video game project from Sucker Punch Studios that in my personal opinion is truly a hidden gem that needs to be brought back to life and eventually to make it on our library. So after 7 whole years of complete silence, Sucker Punch released the incredible Ghost of Tsushima, aka its very first new IP in 11 years. There is no doubt for sure, based on the final product we all received, about the hard work the devs put into making GOT. But before that, the studio seemed that was extremely busy developing another equally awesome game premise with codename as Prophecy. Extremely brief backstory. Prophecy was the game Sucker Punch was working on and essentially were supposed to get in the place of Ghost of Tsushima. That was actually the aim until 2015. That was when plans changed and the whole project ceased development. Now some of you might be wondering what's the whole purpose of the video, and most importantly why I make it sound like Prophecy is such a great deal since its development stopped. Well, that's because those 11 minutes from the leaked gameplay footage are a solid proof that Ubisoft 100% forgot the actual meaning of the title Assassin's Creed and of course how to make a proper one. I'm so adamant, and if like me you are a hardcore AC fan missing the old days, especially Ezio's trilogy, while the story was epic, the characters felt relatable and real, stealth was a thing and combat was great, I'm sure you will agree that Prophecy, even after at this early stage that was left on, is everything Assassin's Creed should aspire to become once again. Without me getting into too much detail, since I'm planning to do in another video, the leaked footage showcased the game's stealth and melee combat as well as hints of alchemy weapons that Abel Tavora, the main protagonist, used either to melt through enemies and obstacles or in another case to create an explosion in order to make his escape or to get rid of numerous enemies. Parkour, free running and climbing also showcased, and despite the fact that the project was so early in the development process, I was pleasantly surprised with what I saw. Last but not least, the story seems very intriguing, where when combined with all the gameplay elements, the overall vibe and tone that the characters and the city of Glasgow are giving out is like a mix between Ghost of Tsushima, Thief and Assassin's Creed from the old days all in one. How awesome is that? In reality, no one knows for sure whether or not Sucker Punch abandoned Prophecy, although that's a possibility I truly don't want to consider at all. Therefore, my aim with this series of videos, provided that are going to reach the developers of course, is to make them aware on how bad we need games of this nature to come back. So guys, please help me on this by sharing this video and tag the Sucker Punch team on all social media platforms if we're gonna make it happen. There you have it guys, that was all I wanted to say in today's video. Please let me know down in the comment section your thoughts about Prophecy and let's have a discussion. Also don't forget to drop a like and consider pushing the red button for more gaming content that is coming real soon. I really hope that everyone's gonna have an amazing day or night, whatever you're going to do, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye!